Hey, welcome to For the Story, the only podcast that isn't sexually attracted to Foghorn Leghorn. Get out of my search history, Mom. My name's Avery.
And I'm Ash. This week we watched Transformers, the one with the knights and stuff.
Yes, Transformers. No, we watched Axel, which has the exact same plot as Transformers without the budget.
But I could actually see what the Transmorpher was. What was the really bad series of Transformers movies that were like the knockoff?
Oh, you mean like the one that's created by what is it? You know that like that one studio that makes ripoffs? Yeah, like they made like the Incredible Bulk or whatever.
Chop Kick like, Panda.
Yeah, it's whatever like knockoff studio it is. It's the Asylum. That's what it's called.
I thought that you were saying that was the name of the Transformers movie. I'm like, no, that seems really far.
No, I don't think
it's Transmorphers.
There's a Transmorphers. There's a studio that makes all those.
Oh my God! There's Asylum. One called Metal Man. It's Iron Man.
Metal Man.
It's Iron Man. Captain Battle. That's Legacy awesome. War. Spyfall. The Excellent. Rise of the Black Bat.
These all sound great. We're gonna go through these one by one, guys.
Holy shit! And then there's Pirates: The Quest for Snake Island.
Yeah, great.
And Transmorphers 2: The Fall of Man.
The Fall of Man. Wow, that sounds like a really weighty topic for a Transmorphers film.
You know what? I respect them.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure.
Yeah, I think that they're doing the Lord's work, and frankly, give us a director's credit. Fuck it.
Exactly.
Let us do it. Let's direct a straight. What movie would we do?
What movie would we do?
It would be like called like Axel.
Should do a ripoff of.
Or our ripoff.
It's a cat instead. It's a ripoff of Axel called Cat Skull. Is that what you said?
Or like
it's a robot.
Or like
cat.
Very Lethal or Barely Lethal.
Very Lethal.
Or The Shiny.
Hardly Deadly.
The Thong.
Wow, yeah. That probably exists.
That's for the other podcast.
That's a fucking real movie. Yeah, But here we are. We're talking about Axel. We told you guys we were gonna watch this. I don't know why we watched this.
Well, let me tell you, Avery.
But it happened. Go ahead. Tell them. Tell your fans why you picked this. Why they have to hear us talk about this.
I wanted to, remove any semblance of love from my life. I wanted to really just spark off a new level of hatred for myself from a movie that, well, I said I saw, but really I saw the cover on an airplane, pressed play, and immediately fell asleep.
It's like I'm envisioning, and it's so impossible to fall asleep on airplanes too. I'm envisioning just like play out.
Yeah, no, it was literally minutes. Right? Like I saw the cover and went, "What the fuck is this?"
This movie has a secret special sleep powers, because the first time I tried to watch this movie, I too fell asleep immediately. I woke up halfway through the movie. I was like, what the fuck? And it was like days later.
I was robbed. Someone had gone through all of my stuff.
It was terrible. So yeah, that's what we did. We watched it, Ash. We watched Axel. And before we start talking about this movie, because we have a lot to share about Axel. Actually, I mean, like, I don't even have a lot of points. I'm just kind of going into this.
I barely have a thought about this movie. I almost don't think it happened.
It's so
cookie cutter.
Like, we're gonna struggle to talk for this movie about an hour.
I think. Talk for this movie about an hour.
Talk. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Talk about this movie for an hour.
No idea what you're fucking talking about ever.
So, well, before we get into that, let's put that off as long as possible because we probably have about 20 minutes of material. What else have you watched since we talked last? Anything interesting? Anything terrible?
Because Haley was in town last weekend, so we didn't watch a lot of stuff. I had gotten her up to the end of season 3 of New Girl, so we were watching a little bit of New Girl. But we did see a stand-up show featuring who's the guy who everyone thought was really ugly in True Romance? New York Knicks.
What is
New
it?
York Knicks. Let me tell you about Porzingis.
Oh my God, what the fuck is his name? It's
Rob Hubel. No, that's not. No, I'm just kidding.
What's his fucking name? It's like Kevin Spacey. It's not Kevin Spacey.
No, it's not.
It looks like him. Who the fuck is it?
Oh God.
What's his name?
Please don't hurt me, sir.
It's Kevin Sorbo. No, it's not.
Who did I just saw him.
I'm like looking it up right now and I can't find it. I'm panicking.
Oh my God, this is
Christian Slater. There we go.
No, not Christian. No. Michael Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport? Yeah. All right, give me 1 second. Michael Rappaport. Oh yeah,
we saw him do stand up, and we also saw. Oh God, now I'm not remembering anyone's names. Haley had to help me with this other lady.
Did you see what I did?
Yeah,
this is what happens when you hang
and
out
one
with
guy
me.
who was like a comedian from the mid 2000s who was somehow still performing his act when we arrived. And whenever he told a joke, he would highlight it with him hitting his mic against a cymbal, like some kind of fucking sociopath who just wants to make people's ears bleed.
Yeah, that sounds pretty loud. That probably sounded better when he was like prepping his.
No, I think that he maybe has like a very loving mother because he didn't look like he had a girlfriend who told him it was a good idea. Yeah, it's very lovely that they have that relationship.
He's got like friends at the office,
and
that tell him that joke's hilarious and that he should do stand up.
Yeah, like me.
Oh,
that's what people tell me. But
I still think he should do
shut the fuck up.
But
no.
I really do. But that's besides.
Us Jews, we don't take enough lessons from black people. They got to take back their word. I think that us Jews should take back the Hitler stash.
Oh my God.
What's the deal with poverty? But we also saw Eliza Schlesinger, who, if you haven't watched any of her stand-up specials, you need to watch them.
I have. Yeah.
She's
really good.
Seeing her live, and then I talked to her after the show, and
that's really cool.
I didn't really we didn't have a conversation. I was just like, oh my God, great set. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. And then Haley watched me have a small nerdgasm. It was great. It was really fun.
Awesome.
So I definitely recommend. I know that Eliza Schlesinger is doing a new Netflix special coming out, and I'm pretty sure we saw just a good chunk of one of her bits, and it was really incredible about bachelorette parties. It was super funny, so be on the lookout for that. I'm sure that I'll be one of the earliest people to recommend that before it comes out.
All right. Good to hear. Yeah, I think a lot of those... a lot of comedians do Netflix specials now. I think it's like a thing.
Yeah, even Seth
I'm pretty
Rogen
sure
with just so many dicks. Just
really?
like a lot of.
Seth Rogen does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he hosted a comedy show.
I didn't know
that was on Netflix.
Okay.
But then they were just it starts with him vaping out of his dick, and I'm like, what universe do I live in where any of this is good?
Sounds like exactly. Yeah, that sounds exactly like the level of complexity I would expect from Seth Rogen. I almost said Joe Rogan.
Yeah, same.
As a Seth Rogen stand-up set. I think Joe Rogan's an okay stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
I don't think he's
terrible either, but he's too Renaissance man-y, where he's just like, you can't be all these things very good.
Yeah. He's got that that kind of I don't know. He gets up there and he does this thing where he's kind of, I don't really want to use the word preachy because I feel like that's not quite right.
Yes, it is.
But do you know what I mean?
No, it's just 100% correct. Well, listen, buddy, we get it. You can't grow hair. Me either. You don't see me telling people how to live their lives except for Avery. Avery, have you trimmed your mustache lately?
Actually, no. I'm getting to that point where it's like, you know, when you like, the hairs are like getting in my mouth. I tried to drink a soda out of a can, and one of my mustache hairs got caught on the tab. It was quite painful.
Literally. Then you have to empty it completely, drink the whole thing, and then walk around shaking it around.
I was able to, like, it's happened to me before, so I was able to slowly like work it out and then pull the tab off and finish the soda. But it's happened to me before where I didn't know, and I pulled the can away from my face and took out like 2 mustache hairs. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty painful.
For just pennies a day, you can feed a mustache hair on Avery's face. Just fucking sad Sarah McLachlan music, and then just random like specks of facial hair around your apartment.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, a charity, like a food drive for my mustache.
It's like March for Mustaches.
They're beautiful. Exactly. Look, this is how you know we don't have a lot to say about Axel, because it's 11 minutes in and we're talking about mustaches.
Avery's just letting me do bits and not getting me on topic at all.
This is great, man. This is why we make the big bucks.
Wait, we do?
No.
Okay.
Ooh, close one.
Thank God.
You almost found out I've been funneling all the cash into my account.
In the Cayman Islands. You forgot to mute your mic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Okay, well,
he knows now. Now the whole internet knows.
What have you been watching this week, Avery?
Fuck. What? Oh, I watched Godzilla 2014.
Yikes.
I don't know. It wasn't too bad, man. There was some cool shit that happens in that movie. And a whole bunch of like really like that like almost goofy patriotism. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like any Transformers movie?
Yeah, like how why are all the Transformers movies like join the army ads? Have you noticed that?
It's like join the armies, but not until you've bought this Chevrolet.
Exactly. And so I don't know why that's the demographic they're going for, but Godzilla was a lot like that too. It was all like army dudes being cool.
Yeah, and then turning to the screen and going, "This reminds me of another tragedy, 9/11."
Yeah. Oh my God. The problem with it is that like all of the human characters that are in Godzilla movies are always really fucking pointless, and you need a reason for them to always be in the path of Godzilla or whatever creature Godzilla is fighting. So they end up really like their personalities are just defined by disasters, and that's not a personality. So they all end up just being totally boring and uninteresting characters. And then you find yourself waiting to see Godzilla fuck shit up. And like, that's the whole movie.
Yeah. That's always the Godzilla movie though.
Yeah. What they did really well was in that one, I think, is that when Godzilla was on screen, rather than like zooming out and like just showing you from like Godzilla's scale what's going on, it showed you from like a human perspective on the ground, which kind of like added to the sense of scale. And all of the sound effects were really cool too. And that's what I got. There's my review of Godzilla 2014. We're totally going to review Godzilla King of Monsters, by the way, because it looks kind of fucking awesome. So, yep. There you go.
Okay, well.
That's pretty much all I've watched. I can't really think of anything else.
We both kind of didn't watch a movie.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
That was it for the week. So, well, it's been like not that long.
Yeah, that's true. We put out a lot of episodes in the last 2 weeks.
It's chilling out for a bit here, though.
Yeah, which is good. I think we both need the time off. Been working pretty hard on the show. We put out like 7 episodes last month, something crazy like that. Mm. So it might have just been 6, but it's a lot.
Let's start a second podcast. I just feel like I'm not working you hard enough, and frankly, you're getting lazy.
Let's start a podcast that reviews episodes of our podcast.
Call it the Metacast.
Yeah, exactly. The podcast cast.
Casting dispersions.
No, let's not do that.
Oh,
let's get into with a segue. Let's motocross bike into our expectations for Axel, or A-X-L. I actually practiced that because I knew I was going to stumble over my words there. Ash, since you slept through this movie the first time, what were your expectations on this rewatch?
There was a movie when I was a child. 1 second, I need to look up the name. Oh, it comes up a lot. All right, so this is not the one I thought. 1 sec, I need to look at it. Just chill, dude. All right, stop yelling at me.
I'm freaking out, man. I'm worried about you.
Oh God, what was the fucking name? Okay, so there was my parents, my mom. Love you, Mom. Sweet lady. But there was a point in my life, I was a really big rollerblader, and my mom got me a VHS of a movie about a kid with magical roller skates. And it looked...
That sounds great.
I need to find it. We need to watch it. But that's what I expected from this movie. That movie was like recorded on a handy cam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
God damn it. I need to find what this movie's called more than literally anything else in my life.
All right. Well, I think
that's my expectation, though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I can, sure. That kind of lines up with my expectations. You know what I was expecting? I was expecting the fucking dog to turn into a motorcycle, and I was disappointed that didn't happen, but that's okay. I was expecting this movie to be absolute trash. I was kind of hoping it was going to be funnier bad than it was, but it ended up being so boring and forgettable. Like, there was almost nothing redeeming about it.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. The last time we tried to do something that we thought was going to be hilarious was Barely Lethal, and that movie ended up being pretty great.
Whoa, now you're on my side?
Oh, no, it was trash. But our conversation about that movie, I think, was better than that movie. But there you go. So I want to start with pros.
Okay.
Because I know you have to have something that's good about this movie. Because it's not all hideously terrible, but it's pretty bad.
The CGI could have looked worse.
I was thinking the same thing. You know, like, I was like, and also they used some like live action props at times. The props were stupid, but like that added to the realism a little bit, I guess. You know, because it wasn't like a total like trash heap. I was expecting some real bad shit, and it ended up looking, you know, like somewhat passable. One thing that I liked is that the dog's CGI, like, you could actually tell what it was doing and what it looked like, which is better than the Transformers movies where like they transform and it's just like a blur of like indescribable moving parts. Do you know what I mean? So it was superior in that regard. But yeah, I don't know. Also, they did this thing that like action movies tend to do, and I think it like was actually pretty appropriate, but the color correction on this being so orange, I think actually like really highlighted some of the saturation, and for a dumb action movie, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that is a personal preference, because I know a lot of people do not like that very much.
I didn't love it. What I did love was young Mickey Rourke in the lead role.
Young
Mickey
who?
Rourke.
Mickey. Wait, did he look like Mickey Rourke?
Yeah, because he like...
That kid was the most boring actor, man.
Who, you mean Cash?
Yeah,
send
right.
It.
Cash from Barely Lethal. Yeah, yo, send it. Yo, Cash from Barely Lethal played every single male role in this movie, and maybe even the female role too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does Mickey Rourke look like? Yeah, that's pretty. It's the hair, dude. He has the same
and
haircut.
Just like somehow just the most wrinkled forehead of anyone who's in his 20s,
right? I got the impression that the image, because I watched this on Netflix, I kind of got the impression that the image was like stretched horizontally, but I don't know if that was just the shape of the lead actor's head. I couldn't really totally tell. It seemed like it was originally put in like a different aspect ratio and they changed it, but it could just be my malfunctioning brain.
Oh God, his fucking PR team's a nightmare.
Who? Mickey Rourke's?
No, Alexander Francis Newstater, the lead in the.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Has he been in anything else?
Really.
Colony. Oh, that's a TV show.
Ithaca, with Meg Ryan, Sam Shepard, and Tom Hanks.
Oh, I feel like I remember hearing about Ithaca.
But here's what they wrote for his bio. He holds a leading role in Axel, which is a character which in his character Miles's life is an up-and-coming motocross star is forever altered by AI military technology. Axel is said to be a contemporary nod to the classic 1980s E.T.
What? Oh, you know what? I actually can kind of see that.
No.
I see where they're going with it. Yeah, totally. When's the last time you watched E.T.? They have this like alien robot thing they're hiding from the government.
He doesn't want a phone home, though. He doesn't like Reese's Pieces.
There's a lot of comparisons to E.T. You know what? And the thing is that I don't even think it's really just kind of like a common story arc, because it's like Stranger Things did the same thing as E.T. as well. Just like this did, just like Transformers is the same thing.
This is the most like Transformers.
Yeah, this is so similar to Transformers.
Let me try and think of more positives. Oh, here's a positive movie review from IMDb. The movie isn't bad. Here we go. Everyone is very negative, saying it's for middle schoolers. Middle schoolers is in quotes, and that it's.
This is totally for middle schoolers. This is written by a kid. This is written by a kid in high school, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. I listened to it. He's like, this movie's for middle schoolers, but I'm older and cooler than that. Listen to this kid.
On the contrary, I think it's a good movie. The acting was good, and so was the storyline. Spoiler. I mean, did anyone really predict Axel was going to self-destruct when he was being chased? Avery texted me that before he had finished the movie. Or that Sam was going to light him on fire. Yeah. I think that everyone's saying bad stuff. Everyone else is jumping on the bandwagon. To be honest, it's not like you're a filmmaker and you've made a movie before and have won a Grammy for you to judge that hard.
Won a Grammy for filmmaking.
A Grammy? I'm fucking dying.
That's so good, dude. This kid is totally in middle school.
I love it. So trying to see if there's...
Yeah. All right. Because neither of us really have any more pros, let's get into some cons. Because this movie is pretty forgettable. Did this movie like instill any sort of emotions in you at all? Did you I kind of felt I felt like empathetic for the dog a little bit, kind of. And like when the sociopath kid tried to light it on fire.
I kind of felt like really on that kid's team.
Yeah, it's the sociopath kid's team.
Except for when he was like, "You owe me sex, Becky G." I was like, "Yeah, no, this kid deserves to be like, you like motorcycling too, but this kid likes it too much. What a freaking nerd!" And then
I think that kid was a piece of shit.
How dare you? My hero?
It's like at the beginning of the movie when he shows that he has like a flamethrower. Like, what normal person, what mentally sound individual has a fucking flamethrower? And he's like burning out like a 98 Chevy Malibu that could have fed hundreds of starving children.
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Avery, when daddy's money buys you whatever you want, why wouldn't you have a flamethrower? You know,
I don't know. I'm thinking like if I had a rich
what do you mean
parent who just bought me anything.
Are you telling me you're not of means?
The upper class.
I'm gonna make my daddy punish you. I don't know what that means. That sounded gross.
Yikes. No, please don't.
I have to send you. There's a Superman panel from the comics where he meets his dad, and his dad's spanking him, and it's so fucking funny.
No way.
I have to text you this now because you're gonna die. Holy shit! This is like literally one of my favorite things on the planet.
But what else? What else can we? Where is it? Oh, I thought you sent it to me.
I texted it to you.
Oh, okay. So what else? What else can we talk about this movie?
Okay.
Oh my God, that's amazing. By the way. This will hurt me more than it hurts you, son. Punish me, Daddy. I deserve it. Yikes.
Superman, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, the greatest hero. Anyway,
you know what? The guy who the best things I can say about this movie is that actors in it look like actors in other movies.
Yeah. A lot of them just kind of look,
because like
they could be in other movies.
They at least like tried to archetype them super hard. Like the military guy kind of reminded me of like how they played Riz Ahmed in Venom.
It totally was like the same character. Yeah. I was gonna say this is exactly. It's exactly like the guy in Venom. Like everything about this, everything about
this other movies
was just like parts from other movies. Yeah, there was nothing original about this film, just at all.
Yeah,
like at all. It's E.T., it's Transformers, it's fucking Venom.
It's barely lethal. It's just like, for sure.
It's like if you got a computer program to like design a movie that will reach as broad an audience as possible.
It has really unoffensive dialogue where you're like, this is not good dialogue, but it is not notably bad dialogue.
Yeah, I feel like the screenplay was just like, it was just so forgettable and just normal, right? Just normal. Like there was nothing interesting about any twist or turn. Everything was totally predictable. Every single story beat like lined up. The only thing that kind of surprised me was when he sicked the dog on the other kid, like our hero, when he was just like crushing the other kid with this like 2-ton mechanical dog. I was like, wow, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go farther with it. Like,
have like a power trip. There were so many ways this movie could have gone that could have made it both worse and subsequently better.
Like if they had just gone full, like this kid now has like gone off the deep end with a power trip and he's murdering people. That would have been kind of excellent. And he's like totally ridiculous.
Taken Becky as like his fucking like slave
hostage,
and like she has to convince Axel to be on her side. It'd be great. That'd be a much better movie.
Actually, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. And then she could have done one of her music videos.
Remember Axel? And she'll draw the feather. Oh. And she'll abandon him because, well, for some reason our hero would get burned, right? Because Sam has the flamethrowers and he would have a terrible burn over half of his face.
Yeah.
And he would become the villain. And
he would become Mickey
Becky
Rourke.
G would have to be like, yeah, he would just be recast as Mickey Rourke.
Wait a sec. Was the evil scientist named Scroggins? No.
No, Scroggins was the kid with the camera.
Okay. Send it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, send it. That's what I was thinking when you sent me that Superman comic. I was like, yo, send it.
Yo, that's Nickel. Send it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We're collecting bad lines from movies.
We're gonna rewrite a movie with bad quotes from all of the bad movies.
Even some of the good movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So basically, what happened when he wiped out his bike at the beginning when all the cool kids were making fun of him?
I don't understand.
Like,
what
send
happened.
it. Did they sabotage his bike? Like, is that what, like, or because he just wiped out and they were like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. Fuck this guy. It's like they acted like they planned it, but they definitely didn't. No. Right?
It would have been cooler if they like cut his wire thing.
Right? Like they should have cut his brakes or some crazy, like totally fucked up shit like
sociopath.
That. But instead it's like he wiped out and they were just like, leave him. But like, isn't like our main character, isn't he supposed to be like the best dirt bikeist ever? Like he's like coming up, he's the new star.
Like, this is what I get don't get is like he's very consistently inconsistent about how good he is at motorcycling.
Yeah, like because I feel like if he was good, like he just let go of the bike. It's not like if you watch that scene, it's not like he consciously made the decision to let go of the bike and it just falls and he wipes out, which is like I feel like a novice mistake. But why wouldn't he just not do that?
Yeah.
And so
why did he give in?
And then all of the villain kids act like they plan it. They were just like, yes, just as I planned. Let's leave him here. It's like, what? Why? How strange.
Very weird.
Yeah, but whatever. Those kids were fucking sociopaths, dude. Well, like, not the other kids. But then he like tries to light his dog on fire. That's just fucked up.
Oh, shit.
That was the fucked up part of the movie.
Did you know that this movie is a remake?
What?
Of 2015 short called Miles?
You're kidding. Wait, what?
It's 7 minutes. We gotta find this.
Dude, yeah.
This looks terrible.
Miles. Wait, it was a short film? Like how could you even possibly fit that into? I'm not seeing this anywhere.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is the worst. But the guy who wrote this movie is a bad guy.
Why? What happened?
No, he's just not good.
Oh, did he like kill someone?
I just don't like him very much.
Oh, okay.
I just don't care for him. Who greenlit this movie? Was it in theaters?
I don't know. We were trying to figure this out on our picks episode because it doesn't really seem like it was, right? But we were pretty convinced that it was. Let's see if we can find out on the IMDb because Country USA release date. So it came out last summer. Cool. Opening weekend. Oh, dude, it only grossed 6.5 million in the US. That's so bad. That's really bad. Like, I'm thinking about it though, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing a trailer for this. I don't remember seeing any advertisement for this movie at all. So it like kind of leads me to believe that it's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like maybe that's why nobody fucking saw it and why it has so many like poor reviews. Also, I'm looking at the IMDb and it looks like the popularity has gone up to number 267 from 966. No,
that's up 966. It was like at 1200 last when we did our
yeah, because on our last episode it was like that. So people are talking about this odd movie. Go figure.
Which is crazy because we barely can. It's so bad.
Yeah, like I'm struggling. Like, what else haven't we said? What else is there to say about this? You know?
Let's see here.
This movie is very forgettable.
Yeah, it's super forgettable. All right, let's do the whole plot. Kid named Miles does a race. There's a mean kid, and he's mean. And you know that because he takes his shirt off and is totally jacked. Like me, the mean guy.
Yeah.
And then the girl gives him a chain, and then he goes to a party because he wins a race. And then he flirts with the girl, and then he
wins the race, and then the kid's like, "Hey, come to my party."
Yeah.
So he goes to the party, and the kid's just fucking burning out cars with a flamethrower. He's like, "Check this out, man. You should give it a shot." And it's like, he's like, "Nah, dude, I'm good." Instead of being like, "All right," like he wasn't really hurting anyone, just burning out a car.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he could have killed that kid. and gone, yeah, I'm the captain now, and taken the house. The dad's always gone and didn't.
You're my friends now.
I am motorcycle. Kong Island.
Yeah, exactly. But instead, he's just like, no, that's bullshit, and just leaves the party, hangs out with a homeboy's girlfriend, and
who's not his girlfriend, but his maid's daughter?
His maid, yeah. So the maid who lives on site, it's really weird. Like, I don't think your people can get away with that anymore. But
I feel like Oliver Daly, writer of this film, has never had enough money to have a maid. Well, let me tell you something. Yeah. Their daughters don't hang out.
Yeah.
They say, hey, quit it, creep, and hit you.
Yeah. So they go, or no, so the next day they're like, he's hanging out at his house, and the kid, the asshole flamethrower kid, drives by, and he's just like, hey, we're going out to the middle of fucking nowhere, bring your bike. And for some reason, instead of being like, dude, like, no, man, like, I don't want to hang out with you, you're a crazy flamethrower dude, he goes with him.
Hey, don't bring your phone.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, don't bring your hey, you don't have any close family or relatives that would know you're missing, right?
What's your blood type?
So they go out to the middle of nowhere and do tricks. They film him. He goes, yo, send it, and then wipes out. Just wipes out so hard, and then he finds a robot dog in a shipping container. Uh-huh. Yeah, after he wipes out, he wakes up days later, dazed and confused, caked in blood, and he finds a robot dog. He stays overnight with the robot dog, who the robot dog texts him instructions on how to fix it, and he fixes the robot dog, and then he goes and shows his girlfriend, who comes and hangs out, and then like the flamethrower kid threatens the dog and lights it on fire. They repair it, and then the military guys come and take it back, and then it escapes, and they threaten small children with a weapon of mass destruction robot dog. And what now I'm lost. What else happened here? Then they're chasing after the robot dog, and the dog blows up.
Yep.
Because it has a self-destruct feature that's shown at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, and like
it's so like, bad. Oh, that's gonna happen at the end of the movie.
Who could have guessed it? Not me. I don't have a Grammy.
Yeah, that's like the same thing. Yeah, right. That's like the same as when like showing a gun at the beginning of the movie means someone's like, it's gonna be shot, like it's gonna be used to shoot someone, and so it's the same kind of idea. Like, they wouldn't show that it has a self-destruct function unless they plan on blowing the dog up.
Yeah,
which makes it really, really predictable.
It would have been really funny if there was like a lot. Okay, when the dog blows up, the explosion is not large enough to hit the helicopter that is coming in. They shoot a shot from the helicopter, and you see the flames obviously not reaching the helicopter. In one of the greatest moments in cinematographic history.
Yep. Does the helicopter blow up too? I can't even remember.
Something uneventful happens, and then
the helicopter lands, and they shake hands and sign a peace treaty.
And then they go to college. Like, that's like the next scene. And I went.
That's it. And then they're on a beach, and they get the dog texts them from the afterlife how to build a new one. So
this movie is also the Bible.
Yeah, right.
It's been 13 days.
I like when he's in the shipping container hanging out with the dog, like looking at the instructions to repair it, and he just takes parts off of his bike and just like glues them on, and they're like, "You're fixed now." It's like, what? I am disappointed that this dog did not just turn into a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Didn't it seem like that's what I thought was going to happen? I was just like, oh, it's a robot dog that can fight, and it turns into a motorcycle. That would have been peak stupid. Also, it would have been so much better.
They showed it with a Gatling gun on its back, and we never got to see that.
It never used any of those functions. Because there's like a hologram when it's showing all of its like abilities.
In like exposition, like where it's very obvious what it is.
Yeah, and he's hanging out with his like nice new girlfriend and shows her like his robot dog, and it's like, yeah, like really like nice, just like exposition right there. It's like, this is all the things that I do. Now there are stakes.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's also in the scene where it's literally like her going like, I'm deep, I'm an artist, and then they're like, but also exposition from the dog. It's like, oh.
Yeah, so it's basically just like, okay, yeah, you're an artist, you're deep. Anyway, this dog has rocket launchers and Gatling guns and shit, and it never uses any of that stuff. Because I think it probably would have been a little too gruesome if the dog literally murdered another child. Like, the villains in this were basically just children.
And drones.
Except for Mr. Science Man, who kind of goes crazy and turns evil. He's like, I'm going to kill these kids if they don't give me my dog remote back. That's a thing that happens.
Yep,
threatens the life of a small young girl.
Oh my god.
Yep.
The onset
beautiful photos Axel 10 out of 10.
Terrible.
The onset photos?
Yeah, they look really bad.
I wonder, like, I think it's interesting that they actually built like a prop for this thing.
Yeah.
You know, because normally you'd think that they would just like not do that in a movie that looks kind of cheap like this. I'm surprised that they actually had, like, somebody took the time to build the prop. I mean, the prop didn't look very good, but I mean, like,
yeah, they did it.
But they did it, you know?
No, you know what's even more crazy about it? Not ever turning into a fucking motorcycle. Like, multiple times in the movie, he turns into a ramp for his motorcycle.
So it just, like, why not just have the dog turn? Because, like, what in a better movie, what would have happened is, or I mean, it would have been a stupider movie, but it would have been better. Is when, because you know how he like kind of can't start the motorcycle when he gets to the shipping container with the dog in it. Mm-hmm. He crashes his bike. His bike's wrecked, stranded out in the middle of nowhere. Meets the dog. The dog's like scanning, and it sees like the motorcycle helmet, and then it turns into a motorcycle for him to ride.
Yeah,
and that's how he gets home and shows off to his new girlfriend and all of his friends. Like, check out my new bike, and it's like a dog too. Yeah, it's like, whoa, that bike's fucking nickel, dude. Yo, send it. And like that, like that would have been so much stupider, but like, can't you visualize that whole scene?
Yeah.
Like, he pulls the dog bike up to the party where they have flamethrowers and like they're burning out like fucking dump trucks and shit, and like, and he has the dog, and it's like, they race, and then like the sociopath kid crashes his bike and like falls on the ground and farts, and it's really embarrassing.
He's wearing like hurt boxers with his initials on it.
His pants get pulled down and he farts, and like, can't you see that scene happening?
You know what else I wish they had kind of done but didn't in this movie was when they first have like the doggo vision of him like chasing young Mickey Rourke on the motorcycle. It's like, it says something where it's like food, or like on the motorcycle, and I'm like, oh cool, it's like literally a gas eating dog, and it's gonna be like fucking like half vampire, half fucking like military dog, and it needs to feed on oil. They're gonna go to Texas.
Or what if it needed to feed on like human flesh? Wouldn't that have been badass?
Would have been better.
It would have been awesome. Like, I thought it was like doesn't it seem like a little unnecessary to have a robot dog that also just drinks gasoline? Like, you're gonna get gas everywhere. Like, just
they use their tongue to drink.
Like,
it's
are
not
you thirsty?
efficient.
And then like it has a gas tank thing on it on the side, and he just fuels it up. He's like, you thirsty, boy?
Yeah, Axel, I feel as though the film didn't accurately determine what Axel's powers were, and like somehow he was a hacker at one point, and he made them like not have to pay for gas, and like then that never comes up again.
Yeah, he hacks the gas station terminal, and then he hacks an ATM, and these kids look so sketchy as they're just like they look like they're stealing money as they're pulling money out of it. They wouldn't be like, oh cool, like, and pretend to take your card out. If like something like that happened, you'd be like, oh, this is my money, why should I freak out about it? But they're like, fuck, get in the car, and then they're like throwing it around everywhere like fucking idiots. It's like, come on,
now I can have a flamethrower.
Right? Like, so ridiculous. Why could the dog hack ATMs?
It doesn't make any sense.
Can you hack a gas pump? Gas pumps are like analog. Like, you can't, right? Like, you can't do that shit.
But there was blue light in his eyes, and you could see what he was looking at, and he would just go like, hacking now.
Yeah. And he could wirelessly access files on any device. Kid has like a GoPro on his helmet, and he looks at the GoPro and just accesses the data on his GoPro, like, without anything, just no hookup necessary. He just has him now. And the dog was like, "Yo, send it."
Oh God, yeah, I forgot. And that was so Bumblebee of him. Absolutely, Nickel.
Right? Like, like it was so like. The only thing this was missing is him learning to speak English. Like, the dog didn't talk. What the fuck?
Yeah, it talked like that one. Again, they were like, the people who made this movie were too fucking smart and like had too many good ideas about what Axel did. And they just didn't really deliver on any of them.
Right? None of them happened. Like, he can do everything. He's got a Gatling gun. He's got a bulldozer. He's got a refrigerator, a cup holder. He's got it all, man. Dude, your dog's Nickel. He's a motorcycle. Why didn't the dog turn into a fucking motorcycle? That's so disappointing.
There's literally everything about
God damn it.
This movie is like the worst.
It just falls apart. It's so sad. It's like there's so many like ridiculous things so many absurd directions they could have taken this, and all it does is blow up at the end.
The girl, so I don't know if I mentioned this before or after, but the girl was in Power Rangers as a Yellow Ranger. No Malone, Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising, and then just want to let you know that, of course, she's a Pisces.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Great. Now I know.
Yeah.
So... What else? There's nothing else to talk about this.
There's nothing else. Shoot me.
There's nothing else. This movie is such a, like, it's just empty hole of an experience.
Wow.
You know? Yep. So, Ash, if you were to give this movie a rating, 5 words, and a recommendation, let's just say I put the ball in your court with that. Okay. What would you say?
I'd say, send it, young Mickey Rourke. Huh. This movie is literally just so bad that it's not good. It's not that bad. It's not. There's nothing redeeming about how bad this movie is. It's truly just a horrific entity that has been brought to us from a bleak void beyond our existence, aiming to just suck away the little bit of hope we have in humanity in these 2019s. Before us lies Yog Sothoth, great entity, great elder god, and staring upon it, our eyes begin to bleed and turn black until we self-destruct, but then are reborn on a cell phone. This movie is a don't watch for me, and this movie is a 1.
Yeah, totally. All right. If I had to give this movie 5 words, it would probably be, why isn't the dog motorcycle? Because we don't do 6 words, but
don't we?
Like, what the fuck isn't it a motorcycle? This movie's fucking bottom of the barrel. This is like if Walmart created a movie, it would probably be this.
Chopkick Panda.
Yeah, this falls in line with Chopkick Panda, The Incredible Bulk,
Transmorphers,
fucking Transmorphers. Yeah. I'm gonna give this movie a. Man, I definitely liked it more than you did. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Ugh, you disgusting fucking freak.
Like, if you want to fall asleep, this movie has. That's why I give it a 2, because it has magical make you fall asleep powers.
It's functional.
So there you go. If you're an insomniac, go ahead, put this movie on. You're gonna fall asleep. You're gonna fall the fuck asleep. There you go. 2 out of 10. Watch it if you're an insomniac. That's the only reason. That's my recommendation.
I found a couple new other great movies for Shark Week when that comes around.
Oh my god, okay.
Jurassic Shark and Raiders of the Lost Shark.
Jurassic Shark. Jurassic Shark. That's too fucking much. That is too much.
There's also
Raiders of the Lost Shark.
Sharkenstein.
Jesus Christ.
Shark Exorcist. These are all real land shark.
I've heard of Shark Exorcist.
What the fuck's wrong with our world?
Why? What? Right? These have got to all be parodies, right?
No.
Well. All right, guys. I mean, do we have anything else for them?
No.
I almost feel bad that we brought this episode to people. Why? Nobody wants to hear about Axel.
No. Actually, it's 290.
Actually.
Caxel, our new film. You want to rattle off a couple of our fucking Transmorphers films for the people?
Yeah, so that's us. We talked about, well, no, it's not. It's Axel. We talked about us last week.
This Is Us is also a television program.
Yeah, it is.
A couple Transmorphers titles. Get Trout.
Yep. Get Trout? What is that?
It's Get Out, but about fish.
No, I don't even know. Okay, thanks for listening.
Into the Sliderverse.
No, I'm done.
It's a bunch of slider-based superheroes.
Into the Spiders Man verse. Spiders Man sounds like a knockoff, right?
Truth Devil.
God, fuck this. I'm done. Stop. Just stop.
American Psychic 2.
All right. So,
Truly I Hate Myself.
So thank you guys for listening to For the Story. Sorry we had to talk about Axel. It wasn't my decision.
Super great time of the Fireflies.
All right. So you guys can send us an email at forthestorypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram at For The Story Podcast. Ash is always posting interesting and unique things up there, often polls and sometimes information about episodes we'll be putting up in the future.
Man Aqua featuring Guy Fieri.
So, Ash, is there anything else you want to say to them without saying another title?
The Scoop Place.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. Everybody have a good week, and we love you very much. Goodbye.
Bye. Send it.